appreciate y'all chilling and politicking and paying attention because it's real vital. You heard me? Trench Talk TV. So that's what it's gonna sound like. It ain't gonna sound like nothing sugarcoat. It ain't gonna sound like what you want to hear. It's gonna be Trench Talk.
You just mentioned leaders, and we're gonna end on this note. You just mentioned leaders. Man, I want to know your opinion on this Young Thug RICO case that's going on right now.
Bruh, I don't know what got you asking me these questions, but I definitely got answers for them because guess what? The people came at me and tried to RICO us. Yeah. Yeah.
What era was this?
I don't know. This might have been, this was before Boo went to jail, like for that scratch. Mm-hmm. So this might have been in 06, right. 07, or something like that. See, what happened was, Webby went to jail and Mouse went to jail. And Fox must have went to jail. I hadn't already been to jail. Boo hadn't already been to jail. I know Turk hadn't already been to jail. I don't know who else been to jail.
All unrelated situations.
All unrelated situations. Nobody had the same situation. I didn't have the same situation with none of them or nothing.
But that's enough. That's crime and y'all organized.
But it was just the fact that, like, I was threading ice because I'm like on paper and not going to see my PO and this, this kind of stuff, trying to stay out, doing what I need to do. So I find out, okay, the people hit my sister shit, my brother shit, and my mama shit.
Damn.
So I'm like, I'm already just turn myself in, but I don't know what's going on. I just know the police hate me, shit like that. So I called one of my partners, Scooby, Bruce Mason, mention him again, because he was the one in the set, call him, boom. Say, I want you to come over here, because I want you to witness everything that happened. I just want you to just play like, you know, nonchalant. I want my mama to be right there and all this or whatever happened. But come to find out, they wanted to talk about a RICO case. And it was like, you know, Big Head, we got you, we got Boosie, we got Webby, we got Fox, we got Mouse. I don't know what they had Mouse or Webby for, but I knew they had went to jail for something. It could have been some bullshit, but I knew they had went to jail. So they was like, well, this is what we gonna do. We gonna show you mercy when it all come down, cause it's coming down.
Right.
But you just gotta say, you know, you have to say, all I had to say is everybody knew about each other doing something. It ain't even had to be linked. I'm talking about RICO. All I had to do was say that everybody knew about.
You had knowledge, and you were gonna be complicit.
I said, man, look. See, they knew I had left, so they was trying to take advantage of that because they knew that why I left.
Right.
You know. So I'm like, bro, all I'm gonna say is them dudes gave me an opportunity, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate them for it, man.
Yeah, and that's what I told them. And then, like, they was hot. You know, they was throwing all kind of slang, saying this and that, saying this and that. But I was like, you know what? It don't matter. I'm out here. You know, like, whatever happened, gonna happen. But at the same time, I'm not finna cooperate at all with y'all. Like, for what? Like, I wouldn't have did that if it was about 1 cent and a nigga straight out the trenches. I don't believe in that. And like I say, I'll go back and say this again. Like, rat, splat. That's how I feel.
Simple and plain.
Civilian, you just doing your job. Trying to make the world a better place. You know, make your neighborhood safer. But a lot of these neighborhoods in Baton Rouge is under siege. And they don't call the shots. They just sit back and get killed or watch people get killed or get hurt and watch people get hurt and don't even be strong enough to step up.
Don't nobody want to say that.
You know, like now this shit falling on the mailman and the delivery man and the nurses that's trying to stop by and the insurance man. Now all these people got to deal with the vultures and all that because, you know, it's no structure in the neighborhood. So what we need to do is we need to get some old school heads. Some will stand up, not none,
or even just go back to that law.
Yeah, not none that's gonna get killed or go out there head first, because I don't believe in going out there and getting killed, because I know that'll happen. You feel me? So it's more about, you know, like Martin Luther King, when he was like, okay, if I cross that bridge right now, I know what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna wait till I can get a little bit more better structure. Then he went right on across. So yeah, you know, it's the same way. Like, you know, like the structure. Like these dudes know if this your hood, structureize it, claim it, own it. You feel me? Clean it up. Whatever you gotta do, it don't matter. Because all y'all involved.
Right. Just
stop involving people that's not involved. You know, let them live. Let them be married. You know, like, and back when I first came to Baton Rouge, it really wasn't but South Baton Rouge. Like all the other hoods had another name. Like the dudes made it a name. Like South Baton Rouge was South Baton Rouge. It wasn't no good name for it. It wasn't no Eden Park. It wasn't no Villa Del Rey. It wasn't no
neighborhood.
Yeah, it was just the trenches. It was the real trenches. And I went from neighborhood to neighborhood trying to survive, and I learned how different hoods went. If a nigga say I wasn't in their hood, they young. But all the OGs know. Big Head done been in every hood in Baton Rouge, thugging and hustling. Every hood. Ain't missed one. And the older dudes, no. And I wish they tell that to the young dude, because I was solid, you know? Like, they need to know that. But when the young dudes and they OGs is rats, if they OGs is marks, if they OGs got robbed and shot and let people take stuff from them and all that, they ain't gonna tell the truth about Big Head, because Big Head ain't go through that. You feel what I'm saying? Like Big Head stood on all 10 on his own. I didn't run from guns, I didn't run from nothing. I stood there. I'm glad to be alive, thank God I'm alive. Dudes tell you, when they upped, if they was too close, we wrestled. You know? Few times they got shots off. Boom, boom. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but it was like I say, I was the chosen one. And at this point, like, I'm so close to God, like I don't fear nothing. I don't fear death or nothing, because I'm close to God. And it's like I serve my duty. So either it's gonna be blessings, or it's gonna be good, or it's just gonna be me continue to try, but I ain't gonna go back in a negative lane at all, because that only misled people. Like my son in jail, my daughter is out of town, you know, doing her own thing. My other son, like I barely talk to him. My baby son, like, you know, I try to bond with him, but it's just a different flow because of time and bring change and the negativity that was attached to my name. Like I had negativity attached to my name, and it turned into hate. And nothing but envy and all that ever went with it. Nothing good never went with it. So it's like I've been fighting this fight myself all this time. So it's like, well, you know what? Since they want to copy me and say this and do this, do that, and do that, let's go good. Let's go good. Let me see how many of y'all gonna follow me to help people. Let me see how many of y'all gonna follow me to make a change or make the neighborhood safer. Let me see how many of y'all haters, ops, or whatever y'all is, gonna do that. If you hate me that much, come on in the lane I'm in now. They ain't gonna do that. They're gonna let me be in this lane all by myself just because they know that they won't make it trying to be who they not. You feel me? But this me, like I say, not on my watch. That's what this stands for. None of my homeboys, all what I've been through growing up, even though I was the leader of the wrong crowd, nothing ever happened to me. always looked out for him. Always, when the mama say, "Big kid, bring my son back home," I brought him back home. You feel me? Like everybody was safe. Once they start doing their own thing, going their own route, and listening to the haters and all that, that's when they start getting knocked off. When they start, you know, not knowing my philosophy, but my philosophy was for us all to make it, for us all to survive, for us all to help our moms and dads and whatever, whoever we had to help. That's what my philosophy was. But I didn't know that as time changed, they would change. Like, none of us said, "I'm gonna hate you when I grow up," or "I'm gonna be a loser when I grow up," or "I'm gonna be a drug addict when I grow up," or "I'm gonna be a couple of them might have said a killer," but you know, we ain't gonna talk about that. But you know, they wasn't saying there was gonna be negative things when they grow up. But when you look at them now, they negative. So they bitter. And it's like, I'm like, okay, I was the poorest nigga in the neighborhood. So when you was the poorest nigga in the neighborhood, and the neighborhood still poor,
how can I lose when I came here with nothing?
you know, it's like, that make the whole neighborhood hate you though. When you go from the poorest nigga, and you ain't even allowed in their house. Nah, he too poor to come in here. He too dusty. I don't want him around. He can't hang with my children. He can't go in my car. The same people. Y'all ain't done shit, but sat here in the same spot, in the same neighborhood, talk the same shit all these years. All y'all I went to school with had y'all school shoes, y'all school clothes, y'all pen, paper, pad, all y'all ain't shit. And you mad at me.
You went through it early, man. You was able, you knew how to navigate. Once you was adult and had to really make them decisions for yourself.
Right.
That's why you made it. You survived.
Mm-hmm.
Out the mud entertainment.
And I tried, like I say, I didn't despise nobody because of what they had. I knew at one point, you know, that minds would lead the situation. The strongest mind would lead the situation. So I wasn't never tripping about what nobody had. It ain't about what somebody got. It's just about dignity. You know, people just, when you be undermined for so long, man, that shit go to eating you up, man. Like I could have helped people been rich right now, but they don't want to see me with it. So they'll pull themselves down not to help me up. And I'll be like, well, go ahead.